you can share this. A little advice. I'm not going to keep y'all long. A little advice I want to give my brothers and sisters. Unless you really about that life, you got to know the times we living in. Share this with a few of my Facebook friends who asked me to share it with them when I go live, and some of you who support what we do here at Project Second Chance, Bright Young Minds Academy, Bright Young Minds University. Just share this with a few of my brothers, my sisters. We got to know the times we living in. Drew Janine, peace, my sister. David Moncadua, peace, my brother. Odin Mixon, peace, my brother. Michael Muhammad, my brother, peace, God. Laisha Taylor, peace. Unless you really about that life, I just want to give a little advice to my brothers and sisters out there. You know, we seeing a lot of videos of white folks pulling guns out on our brothers and our sisters out there. Unless you really about that life, unless you really about that life, right? Stay away with arguing and avoid conflicts with these people as much as possible. Unless you really want to see yourself be taken away from your child by means of them killing you or you killing them, all right? Train your children that when you go out, train your children about the times that we living in. Educate your children. Don't think that your children don't need to know what's going on. All right, train yourself, humble yourself, and know that when you're going out there, first of all, it's supposed to be social distance, supposed to be 6 feet away from these people anyways. All right, that's all people. Supposed to be 6 feet anyways from people, wearing your mask. When you go out, if you got to go to restaurants because you feel like you have to go out, if you got to go to stores because you feel like you got to go out, that's understandable. It's quite understandable if that's what you want to do, because you're a human being, you do what you want to do. But you got to know the times in which you living in. And when I was in prison, it was called, you know, those who were on a suicide mission. You know what I'm saying? Those, all right, who wanted to check out because they had so much time, or they may have not even had so much time, they just couldn't do their time. They did a crime and they couldn't do the time. So therefore, they would go around the prison always cutting up, acting up, always starting beasts because they wanted somebody to take them out. Because you know what misery does, right? It loves company. Misery loves company. And these people are seeing their statues and their monuments and all this stuff getting pulled down. All right. Rage is filling up inside of them right now. White folks have a very high suicide rate right now as we speak. Because they're so upset right now. They're so angry that they're taking themselves out. And instead of them taking themselves out, they'd rather take you out. That's what misery does. You know, in a relationship, a man or a woman who says, if I can't have you, can't nobody have you. So they go and they take their wife out, or they go and they take their girlfriend out, or they go, they take their husband out. They go and take their boyfriend out. They kill them. And then sometimes they even kill their own children. And then they take themselves out. You know what I'm saying? That's a coward. That is a complete coward. Instead of just taking themselves out, they want to take somebody else out. So as you could see that one lady who pulled a gun on a sister and her daughter, you could see it in her eyes. You could see the rage inside her. You could see her breathing hard. All right, because she's already got anger building up within before she even came across the sisters. They already have it in them. They seeing their monuments being pulled. I don't care nothing about those monuments. They can keep it up. They seeing their flags being banned. They seeing many of things coming down. They see their whole world coming down. That world of white privilege is coming down. They see all that falling right now. And their anger has come so high that they're gritting their teeth at God. So if you take your children out, you have to know, you have to understand that that kind of hate and that kind of anger is out there right now. And you have to prepare yourself and prepare your children. You have to maybe go say a prayer before you leave the house. You have to prepare your children before you walk out the house. You literally have to have this conversation because they are looking to check out. Just like I'm telling you, when I was incarcerated, it was always that brother or those brothers who were going around just causing problems because they really wanted somebody to take them out. They didn't want to take themselves out because they were too cowardly to do that. So they wanted somebody else to do it. So they'll go around causing problems, causing confusion, because they wanted somebody to take them out. All right? Because they were too punctified to take their own selves out. They were too punctified when they went out there and committed a crime, they couldn't do the time. So they would go around and walking around, beefing with people, starting stuff with people, acting crazy, because they wanted somebody to give up their life to take their life. It's the same thing what you seeing right now. Unless you really about that life and that's what you want for yourself, you being taken away from your children, you being taken away from your husband, you being taken away from your wife, you being taken away from your parents, you out there being taken away, whether it's prison, through death, or you're going to be severely injured, or you're going to kill somebody. One of the two, one of the three, one of the four, one of the many possibilities out there. You could be protecting yourself, black man and black woman, and guess what? While you protecting yourself, they have in their mind the police may come up and gun you down when you were in the right. So avoid conflict right now. This is the time to avoid conflict. This is the time to not be looking for no arguments with anybody, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. It don't matter. Don't be arguing with your own family. This is not the time to be arguing and fussing and looking for something to beef about, because people are miserable. A lot of people see their world falling, and then a lot of people see a world that's not their world, a world that they love that's fallen. And so therefore they miserable as hell. And guess what they want to do? They want to take you out with them. Misery loves company. So I'm just trying to give a little wisdom to my brothers and my sisters out there. Before you leave the house, have a conversation with your family. Have a conversation with your children. Prepare your family. Prepare your children. When you step out, listen, when we get out there, somebody say something crazy, don't even pay them no attention. It could save your life. We are living in those times where you got to save your life. We are living in those times where you have to preserve your life. Their lives, listen, these racist people out here, they know they only have a short period of time on this planet Earth, and they know their time is running out. Just time is going to wipe them out. Just time alone is going to wipe them out. Right now, statistics are showing in the public school system, the first year, it was like last year was the first year that is more black and brown people inside of the public school system than it is them. They see it, they know it is more black and brown children inside the public school system than it is any other children right now. So what, these children are going to grow up to be adults, but the only way they can prevent that from happening, that 10, 20 years from now is going to be more of us than them in America, is to take you out, to prepare to take your children out, to prepare to have your children incarcerated, to prepare to have your children vaccinated. You see, you got to be wise. They see something many of us don't see, because they see themselves slowly being bred out. Just the breeding process alone of what integration is doing is breeding them out. So the anger and the frustration and the hate is rising. Seeing that monument come down, that statue come down, is just a sign that their world is coming down. But some of us don't see it. So we go out there thinking everything's just like it was, all right? That only people suffering, they only mad about this COVID-19, because you may not be seeing the world come down, but these people are highly attached to their white privilege. These people are highly attached to their racist world, and their world is falling. It is unraveling, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan made it very clear. February made it very clear, February 24th, that their world is unraveling. All right, America is unraveling, and they see it. The Democrats see it, the Republicans see it, the Green Party see it, the Orange Party see it. All right, all of them see their world falling, and we out there and we arguing and fussing with these people, and these people are just trying to get you to take them out, all right, or they gonna take you out. Misery loves company. Satan is casting out Satan. So when Satan starts casting out Satan, they don't have time to uphold their kingdom. So if Satan cast out Satan, how can his or her kingdom stand? It's falling, my brothers and sisters. No matter how much you love their world and you are attached to their world is falling. And it's God that's calling their world down. But it's God that's calling you out of their world. So when you go out into that world out there and you're walking in the valley of the shadow of death, because that's what you're doing. I don't care what degree you got, how much money you making. I don't care how nice your car is, how nice your clothes are. When you go out in that world, now it's no longer just the average brother that's walking, all right, through the valley of the shadow of the death. All right. Now it's everybody that's out there. When you go out there, you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, and they're looking to take your life. They're looking for a reason to take your life. And you should be looking for every reason to preserve your life, because God has promised you your kingdom. God has promised you your world. God has promised you your own land. All right. So right now, all these people out there, it's not no coincidence that all these people are out here fighting on behalf of black people when they weren't fighting on behalf of us before. If everything was fine for them, they would not be thinking about you, black man and black woman. All right. They only see their world falling, and they trying to hold on because they can see that God has got these people's back. God has now come to raise these people up. So they using you just like they used President Obama when that world was falling, when the economic world was falling. All right. Who did they use? They went to black people to vote in a black man, use a black man to try to save and check their fall. And he gave them a little bit of time. He preserved them a little few more years. All right. And we went out there and we got him into office. And then after that, God gave us an orange man. Went from a black man to an orange man. I just want you to think about this now. So you got to understand, my brothers and sisters, share this post, because your brothers and your sisters, your family members must know when you go out there, avoid all conflicts that you possibly can, unless you really about that life. And that's the world you want to go in. And that's the world you want to fall trapped into. All right. Because you're going to go out there and you're going to, who wants to be in prison during this time? Who wants to be incarcerated during this time? Who wants to be in a hospital with a gunshot wound during this time? Not me, unless you absolutely have to defend yourself. Ignore these people. Whether it's a black man, it's a white man, it's an Asian man, it's an Arab man, it's an Indian man, it's a Hispanic man, it's a Latino man, whatever anybody want to call themselves. Avoid all conflict that you can. All right. Should have been doing that anyways. But the best way to win a war is to avoid a war. The best way to win a battle is to avoid the battle. You ain't got to fight it, brothers and sisters. God is here to fight it for you. You ain't got to win it, brothers and sisters, in front of no Chick-fil-A. You ain't got to win it, brothers and sisters, inside of no mall. You ain't got to win it, brothers and sisters, in front of your children's school. You ain't got to win this battle. You ain't got to win this war. Do you understand? In your neighborhood, you ain't got to win it there. God is going to win it for you. He's made it very clear. He's going to fight it for you. But you got to be willing to do right by yourself. You got to be willing to fight for yourself. And some of that fighting is when you humble yourself. Some of that fighting is when you bow down to something greater than yourself. Some of that fighting is when you look at yourself and you realize it's not even worth that kind of fight. It ain't even worth that kind of battle. You're going to give your life to prove something to somebody who ain't happy? You're going to give your life to prove something to somebody whose world is falling anyways? I just want you to think about it. Stop letting these people trick you up out of your life. Stop letting these people trick you out of your sanity. Stop letting these people trick you, all right, out of your peace of mind. Stay home, black man and black woman. Their world is falling. They are fighting amongst themselves. Do you understand me? They are fighting over the value of you, what you have for them. They're not fighting for your well-being. They're not fighting because they love you. All of a sudden, the people just start loving you. It don't work like that. So if you really about that life, All right, and you want to go out there and you want to cause problems, go ahead. But this is to my brothers and sisters who looking for good guidance. This is for my brothers and sisters who looking for good wisdom. This is for my brothers and sisters who are not trying to check out early. This is my brothers and sisters who are not on some kamikaze mission. This is for my brothers and sisters, all right, who are using the greatest of intelligence at all times and understand that your children have value. And you need to be here right now for your children. You don't need to be out there fighting some people right now, all right, over some chicken sandwich or over some who bumped who or who bumped this. You don't need to be jumping in people's face with this virus in their face and arguing and fighting. You don't need to be doing that. God has given you every reason right now to back away and give yourself some distance from these people. God has given you every reason right now, all right, to back away and he's told you social distance for a reason. It ain't just for no virus. Do you understand me, my brothers and sisters? It ain't just for no virus. Do you understand me, my brothers and sisters? All right, it's because the time in which we are living in. This is why, all right, this is why God right now is telling you to give people their distance. Do you understand? It's not just because of a virus. Do you understand? He's created an environment. And if you want to break, all right, the rules that God is making quite obvious that you should be following, do you understand? And if you want to go ahead and still be a rebel when you shouldn't even be in nobody's face right now, with a disease or a virus out there that's killing more black people than anybody else. So why are you a black person in anybody's face? Why are you a black person that's sitting there fighting and arguing with white folks when they out there protesting with no mask on, and it's going to kill you before it kills them? And if it don't kill you before it kills them, they're going to kill you in a hospital before they kill them. They're not going to heal you. They're going to kill you. Do you understand? They're going to heal their own, and then they're going to kill you. So why would you even be arguing with these folks right now? You need to be thinking wisely and using the greatest of intelligence, not sometimes, but all times. And you need to take your children before you walk outside of that house, all right? If you ain't never educated them and you don't know how to teach them math and you don't know how to teach them science and you don't know how to teach them social studies, you don't know how to teach them reading and writing, you can teach them. When we leave up out this house, don't you be fussing and arguing with nobody. Don't you be starting no beefs with nobody. We have nothing to prove because God has already made it clear to us that he's fighting the battle for us. He said, vengeance is the Lord. So you ain't going out there and doing nothing that's already causing them to go insane. You're not going to add just your little fussing and arguing. Ain't going to add no more to them that God is not already adding to their world right now. He's crushing their world. He's bringing their world down. He's destroying the world. And he's told you, even though many of you think it's just the virus, all right, even though many of them told you think it's just the mask, you got to see deeper into this thing. God is telling you to give people distance for a reason, because these people are on a suicide mission. They looking for a reason to kill you. They looking for a reason to murder you. They looking for a reason to do harm to you. They looking for a reason why you out there just going to go get a Subway sandwich. All right. And you just think that you out there going to go get a Subway sandwich and all this is going to be over with, and I'm going to check somebody and I'm going to let them know how I feel. And I'm going to let you ain't going to just walk by me and talk to me any kind of way. I'm going to show you something. And these jokers packing. All right. These jokers, when they walked out and said, I wish a nigga would try me. All right. Now you got white folks walking out saying, I wish a nigga tried me, because they got their pistols on their side. They got the pistols on their ankles. They got the guns inside their cars. Do you understand me? And you walking out there and they telling their children, I wish a nigga would try me. And you walking out there and you ain't even telling your children. You're not even telling your family. You're not telling your wife. You're not telling your husband. You're not telling your brother. You're not telling your sister. When we walk up out this house, our number one goal is to come back home alive. Our number one goal is to come back healthy. Our number one goal is to go get what we got to go get. And when we get our black backs back up home, we are here to take care of one another and survive this, because God is bringing their world down. You don't have to be out there bringing it down, black people. God is bringing it down. All you got to do is unite with one another. All you got to do is love one another. I mean, easy. That's all you got to do. All you got to do are the simple things right now. Stay home. Chill out. All right? Stay home. Relax. Stay home. Spend time with your husband. Spend time with your wife. Spend time with your children. Spend time with your animals. Spend time on your farm. Spend time repairing your home. Spend time working on your grass. That's all you got to do. That's God is just, I mean, he got them sending you checks to stay home and you still out there. All right? He's sending you. He got the government paying you to stay home and you still out there fussing and arguing for what reason? All right? Bringing all your people, all right, behind you to a slaughter because we love you and we ain't gonna let you just go out like that. But get your own brothers back. Get your own sisters back. Get your own daughters back. Get your own sons back. Get your mother and fathers back. Your mother don't need to be stressing out about you getting killed out there by some racist white folks. Do you understand? Right now they running black motorcyclists off the road. Did you know that? Did you know that they got plans for July 4th? All right. And we may think they may be going out there with guns. But man, these people, you can't fathom the depths of these people. Black people don't sit in their homes trying to figure out how to plot on white folks. We don't even think like that. If we're going to sit in that house and think on how we're going to plot on anybody, it's going to be another brother or another sister. But we ain't thinking about how to plot on these people. And these people oppressed us for 465 years. And we ain't even thinking about how to get back at them. But they are getting back. They are thinking about, man, if you can't have it, or if I can't have it, you can't have it either. That's the mentality. That's particularly the mentality of a human being. And you see it in relationships all the time. The brother go out there and he kill his wife. And then he go out there and he kill himself. And people say, well, why don't you just kill yourself? Because of the mentality of, if you are going to get it, all right, I'm going to give my life to make sure you don't give it. All right, you don't get it. So if you or if I can't have it, if I can't have white privilege anymore, you can't have black privilege at all. That's how they thinking. If I can't have white privilege, you can't have black privilege. It's the same thing. Black lives matter. No, all lives matter. Do you understand that? Do you understand the mentality of these people? As soon as you say black lives matter, they get offended. No, all lives matter. You understand? Because why? Because they're saying to you and making it very clear to you, if I can't have white privilege, you can't have any privilege. So therefore, what does an envious person do? An envious person will take your life. Do you understand me? Because really they're not mad at you. They mad at God for the gift that he put in you. Do you understand? They're not mad at you, black man and black woman. What they're angry at God. Do you understand? They're angry at the God inside of you for giving you such a gift to be a black man, to be a black woman. So that envy causes them, they think initially out of their emotions that if they kill and murder you, that they'll feel better. So it's the same thing as that man that's in a relationship. He don't want his wife, or he don't want his ex-wife, he don't want his ex-girlfriend to be happy. So he thinks, if I go and kill her, I'm gonna feel better. So he goes and he kills her, he shoots her, and then immediately he realizes that he don't feel better. He's killed her, he's murdered her, or she's killed him, she's murdered him, and then they realize, I don't feel better anymore. So what do? They kill themselves. So you got to understand the mentality of an envious individual. And history has proven to black people that these people are envious of the black man and the black woman, not just in America, but all over the world. But it is a fact that the black man and the black woman in America shines more than any black people on this planet Earth. We have more influence than any other black people on this planet Earth. Do you understand me? So that means you are the most envied in the eyesight of racists. You are the most envied in the eyesight of white supremacist state of mind. Do you understand me? You are the most envied amongst the people on this planet Earth, because God is using you, black man and black woman. So wake up. Keep your black behind home as much as you can. And if you gotta go out there, stay humble. Humble yourself. Do you understand me? Prepare your children when you go out there. Prepare yourself. Say a prayer before you leave up out of there. Not just that you get home all right, because of what somebody else is going to do to you. But say a prayer that you can contain your emotions when someone like Satan is calling you. And I'm done after this. In the scripture, Satan says, what are you mad at me for? And I'm paraphrasing so you can understand it. He said, what are you mad at me for? All I did was call you and you obeyed. I just want you to think about it. I'm going to say this again. All they're doing out there is calling. They're calling on your emotions. They are striking a nerve with inside of you, calling you nigger, calling you this, or just walk by and pull down Black Lives Matter, or just go and spray paint something in front of you, or bump you, because they're trying to get a reaction out of you. And you got to know that the God in you is already fighting for you. So all Satan is doing, he's calling you, my brothers and sisters. Don't obey Satan, because them two voices that come up in you and you say, man, I want to check that joker right now. I want to let them know, listen, you got to listen to that other voice that we've been trained to bury that says, man, sister, brother, it's not even worth it. Your goal was to come out here and get a chicken sandwich and go back home. You did not have on your mind when you was going to come out here that you were going to have to pull a gun on somebody because somebody pulled a gun on you, or that you were going to have to bust somebody in the mouth because they were talking crazy to you. Your number one goal was to go out there and go buy you them shoes, or to go buy you whatever you were going to go purchase. That was your goal. Your goal was not to go out there and not come home to your family. This is Larry Rivera. I just want to make it very clear. I had to say this. I love you with my life. I thank God for good guidance and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I love you, my brothers and sisters, and I'm not the only one who love you. It's many of us out here who love you. You not being no punk by humbling yourself. You not being no coward by humbling yourself. God is already fighting the fight for you. You winning, black man and black woman. You already are guaranteed to win. Do you understand me? You are winning. All right, and God is making it clear to them. The problem is you got to see that he's also making it clear to you. You are promised to win. You just got to stay out here. Peace.